Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm calling this series kitchen series. Why kitchen? Because I think the kitchen is the most sacred place in the house. People are real in the kitchen. They don't, pretend to be someone. They feel comfortable. Personally, I love the kitchen, and I feel that this is a place where the most important discussions in any family goes. I decided to do a kitchen series. I don't know if you guys would like it. Make sure to click the like button and let me know what you think about it. I was very sick, and it was a very weird type of sickness. So it started as a flu. I got nose congestion, then it went to the cough, then it went to my throat pain, then I came back to the flu, then it just turned to the mucus, and I'm fully still not recovered. That was one of the reasons why I had to pause. Second reason was that one of my friends, I'm trying to sell one of the flips. Actually, I'm going to make a separate video about that. Today's market is really shaky. No one really knows what to expect. I decided to make another video on this topic. And thirdly, I was kind of busy with my taxes. I haven't finalized my 2022 taxes, haven't done my 2023 taxes, trying to install the TurboTax automatic calculation thing so that it will calculate automatically how much tax we owe. A couple things just happened at the same time simultaneously, so I had to take a break from making videos. Hope you guys would like this video. It will talk about how to buy a free house with BRRRR Method. If you don't know what a BRRRR method is, borrow, rehab, refinance, and rinse and repeat. You go find a crappy house, you just repair it, have it refinanced, pretty much getting a new loan that will cover the old loan. And obviously, after you refinance it, say that you got a house for 500, you get it refinanced for 700, you take your down payment out, you get a free house, and sometimes you even make a money. Now, I'll explain you how to do it step by step. So first of all, obviously you have to find a cheap house. Personally, I try to go for the worst house in the nicest neighborhood. But this is literally in the place of California, especially like Southern California. It's got so much hard to find those houses, but still once in a while you get to find those houses. I would say really a matter of how good you look. Takes time, never rush with the purchase. If you guys having a hard time, I would love to help you out. You can find my credential in the comments section or in the video description. Feel free to reach out to me or to my team. Step number 2 is to go in to negotiate. Never agree on the price that people present immediately. So let's say like there's a house, currently we're reviewing that house. It's a 1.4 million with our investors, and it's been listed for 17 days. Now, after 2 weeks, normally it's a time when seller understands that, hey, have to do something to sell this house. It's not going to sell for the price we listed it. So normally they are more open to negotiate the pricing, or they will just reduce the pricing themselves. It's really important not to go for the lowest price. That's the number one mistake many people do. They see the cheapest house in the neighborhood, they start to overbid each other, and it turns out not to be the cheapest house in the neighborhood anymore. But when you go for the medium or lower medium priced house that's been on the market for a while and haven't been sold, then you got the room to negotiate. This is the time you have to start negotiating. Step number 3 is to find the right lender. I cannot tell you how it is important to find the right lender, guys. Many people think that if you're going to go to the banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, you get a good deal there. That's absolutely not true. Personally, I would advise to go with a mortgage broker. By the way, if you guys haven't heard about it, I'm planning to get my mortgage license very soon. I'll be able to help you with this issue too. But trust me, if you go to the wrong lender, there's a high chance you would not close. There's a high chance you can lose your money down payment. So it's really, really important. Make sure to speak to the person who will be originating the loan. Otherwise, if you would not see the person, if you were to see a secretary or an employee, they might tell you, hey, yeah, we'll do our best. And then at the time when they should be closing, like 14 days, there's a period of contingency. If you guys don't know what a contingency is, when you make an offer for the property, there's a point that says that during these 14 days of contingency, if the lender says, hey, we would not refinance, you can back out and take your down payment. If you would not be able to get an answer from your lender in 14 days, it means you will lose your down payment. I almost did lose one of my down payments back in the day. Luckily, I have a friend, Andrew, shout out to you, that helped me with this issue, and we got it refinanced. That's step number 2.
Thank you for watching, and I would like to mention that this video is sponsored by my company. We help landlords to maximize their rental income. Normally, we take the property, say it's been rented for $3,000, we'll help landlord to make about $5,000 and charge about 10% from the profits. This is what we do. If you guys interested, if you're a landlord and looking for that company that would help you with getting more rent, Just letting you guys know, I'm also a realtor in California. Any part of California you're looking for real estate, property for yourself, live with a family, or for investment, I'm your guy. Feel free to hit me up in the DM.
Step number 4 is to make sure to check the comps. If you don't know what the comps are, it's the comparable properties. It's really important to look at the last 3 months, or if there's nothing been sold in 3 months, I would go to the 6 months, 9 months, and to understand how much similar properties cost in that market. Say you see 1,000 square foot house sold for, say in Southern California for 800,000, and then you see another similar house to be sold in 1 million. It means you got a really good price. But if you see like 2,000 square foot house sold for 1 million, and then you are getting a 1,000 square foot house for 800,000, it doesn't really, it is not a comp. So you have to come up with a comp. If your realtor doesn't show you, honestly, I would still check, because most of the realtors, they're not honest. Unfortunately, they would just, I had lots of realtors that been interested in just me buying the property. They would never tell me if it's a good property. And most of the time those guys would knew that the property is not good. But if they would tell me, personally, I would not call it a mistake. I'm just being honest. I mean, commission of $1,000 or $10,000 would not change something in my life. So for me personally, it's more important to be honest and keep the relationships with people instead of selling them crappy houses. So I just tell the guys who I work with that I would not go and buy this house for this price. You cannot imagine how many times I lost it because of these guys. Even if the realtor would send me I would still go and do my own research, because again, you can just get false information which not be precise. Step number 5 would be to make a plan. You have to know what kind of property you're getting. Is it a fix and flip? Is it a repair? Is it an ADU property? Is it a short-term rental? Is it a investment property that has problematic tenant inside? So normally, typically, whenever you're getting something below the market, it would have certain problem, the pain point that would make the seller to sell that property. Otherwise, whenever the people are selling their properties, it's either above the market, or personally, I haven't seen, for the last 4 years, I haven't seen any single property priced to the market without a reason. It's either with people are trying to have other people overbid each other, or there's a specific reason. For instance, in the case with a flip that my friend does, it's a corner property and it's looking to the noisy street. But again, it doesn't make any difference. I've seen thousands of those properties sold. So make sure to understand what kind of property you are buying. Have a plan for repairs. Make sure to get the right, speak to your lender so that he would not get a crazy appraisal. I've seen so many times people who just get their licenses and come to their to appraise the house, and it's like their first or second appraisal, and they come up with a random prices that absolutely doesn't make sense. That part is also important. If you get an appraiser for like the house that costs like 800,000 and the appraiser comes up with a 700,000, just get a second opinion. That would be my advice. I mean, you have to find a reasonable person who would do the appraisal. I mean, it's not technically you, it's your lender who would be working with appraisal, but you would be the guy who would be getting the end results. After you do the repairs, you get another appraisal. Normally, if you do the good job with the repairs, you spend somewhere around 50 to 100K, and you get the double of that price because you put the sweat equity, you put your time and energy in this. So say you get the house for 800, you do the repairs. It should be normally, if it's a BRRRR house, worth somewhere 1 million. Now you get the loan for 1 million. After you get it appraised, you close your down payment, you take it out, and then you get the free house. That's pretty much it. When getting a loan, both loans, the first loan, I would probably go with just hard money loans because it's just interest only. The school would close much faster. The second loan, when you would get the appraisal done, refinancing done, it should be normal conventional loan, and make sure to compare the rates. Do not go with the first lender. Try to get a couple of rates from different lenders and then try to have them beat each other so that you will get the best rate. Technically, you get a free house this way. Don't forget that there are taxes. There are rents. You have to do something with that house. It's not like you get a free house and it's yours. No, you would have to have a 30 years mortgage on that house. Sometimes it could be 40 years mortgage. But the point is that the house should be an asset. If the house is not making money for you, it's a liability. Now, there are a couple ways to turn the house to the asset. I have several videos about that. But most of the time, if you're getting investment property, you have to have a person that will pay a little above of whatever the mortgage is, your payment is. So there's a 1% rule. Most of the time people are coming with that, which is, say you get a house for 1 million, the monthly rent should be somewhere around 10 cents. On this way, you would cover your loan, also make some money on the side. But of course, every house is different. Most of the house, personally, I prefer medium-term rentals. Whenever you rent a house a little bit above the market price, you furnish it, and then the insurance companies or the construction people, they pay you a little above the market price. So this way you make money. I would remind you that there are 3 ways that any house would save you money. First of all, it would appreciate over time. Trust me, if after the repairs, it will be worth 1 million. After a year, 3, 4, 5, it will be somewhere around 1.2, 1.3. Secondly, you can deduct lots of taxes with that house, not to mention the repairs, but also the structure of the house could be deducted in certain taxes. I have a video about it with our CPA, Sean. It's called cost seg studies. You do the cost seg study and then depreciate whatever amount you could take out from the structure. And of course, if you have a cash flow, it's a perfect thing to have. Personally, I've seen lots of people keeping money in the house, and then, you know, there are different ways you could just cash those money out. What I prefer to do, if I get the cash out, I have to invest those money to the different asset. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, in this economy with the rates like 7%, low 7s, high 6, it wouldn't make much sense to cash out every time. I would personally wait for the rates go down to 5, maybe 4s. Then it would make sense to cash out and buy any new properties, because you are getting a longer term loan, much better rate. And of course, in this type of situations, it definitely makes sense to cash out. But keep in mind that the best time to buy is right now, when no one is trying to buy. There's no much competition. Whenever the rates go down, the competition skyrockets, and obviously prices skyrockets too. And there is also another thing called OPM, other people money, where you can utilize someone else's money. There was a program, I believe, I forgot, Call FHA, yeah, that's what they were calling it. Pretty much the state would pay the down payment. Also, I've heard there's a program that comes with a 0 down payment, but keep in mind, whenever you would be selling the house, whoever made that down payment of 20%, they will be making a huge profits on those down payments whenever you would be cashing out, because the house would initially appreciate. Personally, I think the most important part in all this is just to start, because many people come up with different things like, I don't have money, I don't have capital, I don't have time, blah, blah, blah. Just start. Start from the one house. Start helping someone. Start becoming someone's property manager. This way you would start to accumulate the cash flow, start doing Uber, getting a realtor license, introducing yourself to the people. And this way you would get the ball rolling. And the most important thing in all businesses, I think, and especially in the real estate business, is not to give up. Whenever you give up on yourself, whenever you say, hey, that's it, I was not able to make it, that's it, it's the end of the game. If you never give up, it's never end of the game. You would always keep winning. If you guys think I brought the value, please let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. See you on the next one, guys.